The second characteristic we're going to look at is history. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag real quick on this one. Okay, physically, socially, culturally, humans have evolved to survive. You have everything you need to be successful in today's sexual marketplace. This is where I should be doing a happy dance. You know, if I could moonwalk right now, I'd do it. Not off the stage, but this is where we should be celebrating. Okay? This is a damn good thing. This is the importance of looking at history. Okay? You can see successes. And what I'm going to tell you right now is you have everything you need to absolutely thrive, be happy, and to be successful. How do we know that? Let's take a look here. Example 1. Human evolution. Probably the most prolific organ we have and tool for our success is our brain development. Okay? Over the course of 14 million years, okay, between that guy over there, monkey boy, all the way across, okay, 2/3 of that time, pretty flat line, man, not a lot going on. Very, very limited development right out to here. Okay, 2/3 of that time, we had similar brain sizes than apes. And then something happened right here. And man, did that shit take off. Our brain started developing, hardcore. Okay? Most of that improvement occurred in the last 2 million years. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. All right? The importance is something happened that allowed for sexual selection to be paramount to promote this. And we know one of the most important is complex tool use. Okay? Now, this is one I'm always really happy about. I was really fascinated with as a child. You know, I got thrown out of a number of zoos for doing it. I would tease apes. You start doing this, you do that. Apes can do that, but they cannot do this, okay? And they cannot do that. You want to get an orangutan really fucking pissed? Just do this, okay? Not cool, but hey, my childhood, I learned that and I started applying it. Fucking love science. Anyway, so that's fascinating. But I'm going to argue complex tool use really wasn't it. And man, I love alluvian tool points, flint knapping, the whole thing, they're gorgeous. But that really didn't make us successful. That was the technology. What really made us successful was that we actually formulated large extended family social packs. Okay? More than just packs. Okay? We had complex social arrangements. Okay? And our brains allowed for analytical, complex, abstract planning. Okay? And one of the most important, extended childcare. All right? This shoots up, so does the length of childcare development, of training, socializing, passing on non-genetic knowledge through the generations. Your ability to learn, not firsthand, but by what was taught to you, what I am doing right fucking now. Speaking and communicating, teaching, so you don't have to do it. You don't have to make those mistakes. And because of it, we thrived, we reproduced, and we selected for those that were best able to think and rationally use their brains, and we can prove it. And how do we prove it? You're sitting here today. You are the living, breathing end of 500,000 generations that made that happen. And some of you, that's going to be the end because you can't get over the adaptation, the challenges that we face in our environment, in our culture. I don't believe that. I'm going to tell you can. I'm going to tell you you have all the equipment right now to succeed. And there it is. Keep that in mind. Socially, we're prepared to succeed. This is how we're supposed to live. Large, extended family, stoic family packs, multi-generational family members. This is a phenomenal success model, okay? One of the most important, okay, is not just that we had shared survival goals, communal living, cooperative care of the young, and a division of reproducible labor based on reproduction and gender. Okay, some ugly realities there based on gender, but it works, all right? The biggest and most important is the extended child care, okay? The ability to raise children over a period of time. The longer that period takes, the better trained the children are, the better they succeed. Let's talk about something really ugly. I said this works. let's be really blunt. Patriarchy works. It is a global, universal success across time. Not just in one culture, all cultures. Not just in this area of the country, or this part of the world, or this continent, globally, over 500,000 generations. This has been a model of success. Our problem? We're ignoring it. We also know that culturally, we're not adapting particularly well. An evolutionary biologist will tell us we're maladapted to modern life. I'm exhibit A. Okay? I've got a little more hair, but I don't know, we'll leave it at that. In a very real way, modern life has brought on a number of physical ailments, biomechanically, biomedically. Obesity, diabetes type 2, osteoporosis, heart disease, any number of cancers, all associated with modern living, one way or another. That's culturally induced, by the way. That's man-made. That's not environmental. That's man-made. And if it's man-made, we can correct it a lot faster than we can correct nature. Okay? Literally, sitting in extreme stress is the new smoking. All right? Keep that in mind. Kind of amazing. I have to take my own advice. God knows I'm trying, but we're gonna work on this, okay? But keep in mind, these are the ramifications of transitioning from hunting and gathering, okay, to farming and agriculture. This is what happens. Now, this got accelerated with the Industrial Revolution, and has absolutely been exacerbated by today's post-industrial revolution and our service-based economy. We're gonna see a lot more of this unless we change, unless we adapt. Excuse me. Oops. We also know, just as we had broad-scale transformations to our practice of living, our ability to adapt biomechanically, so too have the challenges to us to adapt socially. We have not adapted socially to the same influences of culture that we were failed biomechanically. And how do we know that? Let's take a look at this, okay? We have seen more changes culturally in the last 250 years than in the last 250,000 years. Think about that. You take the history of the United States, 240 years this year, add 10 more years, so the entire American Revolution, the entire American journey. We have seen more cultural change in that time period than going all the way back to Monkey Boy. 250,000 years. I'm sorry, it wasn't Monkey Boy, 250,000 years. That is utterly remarkable. Okay, keep that in context as we start looking. And we've gone from family storage packs to tribes to living in cities and metropolises. That's a remarkable transformation. Not just that, we have global centers now. And the World Wide Web is even making it more plentiful. We just don't have a global element, it's now virtual. And we're operating socially in these environments. Okay, and we're losing sight of something very, very critical. All this massive, massive fucking success, and we're losing sight on the fact, at our core, we're social, interconnected animals. We're mammals. We're meant to socialize. We're meant to interact with each other. Here's the last one. Technology-driven social media has created a cultural situation where we are both flooded and starved for real social connections. The connections we are making are utterly unsatisfying. We are literally having our social connections made equivalency of eating through a vending machine. It is nothing but junk food, short-term, easily disposable, cheap, quickly packaged, mass-produced content. And that's our social media. Pick the format, pick the software, the results are the same. If we know feeding ourselves and having diet nutrition that stems from junk food and vending machine is unhealthy, what do you think it's doing to us socially? Right? And keep in mind, we are expected, we have a biological imperative to have interconnected sociability. When we talk about loneliness, the health risks go through the roof for people who are chronically lonely, who are chronically isolated in society. Okay? We know that will drive people to kill themselves, to terminate their own existence, based specifically on a lack of social connection. Okay? In that regard, a lack of social connection is a terminal disease, and a disease that can be cured by the way in which we treat our relationships and what we feed, how we feed ourselves socially.